And every year, on the date of the accident, it runs again as a warning to others, plunging into the gap, shrieking like a lost soul.
Percy, what are you talking about?
The ghost train! Driver saw it last night!
Where? Asked Thomas and Toby.
He didn't say. Ooh, it makes my wheels wobble just to think about it.
Puh, said Thomas. You're just a silly little engine. I'm not scared. And he puffed away.
Thomas didn't believe in your ghost,
said Percy next morning. His driver laughed. Neither did I. It was only a pretend ghost story on television. Percy was disappointed. So that evening, he came back as light engine from the harbor. Percy knew where he was, even in the dark.
Crow's Farm Crossing. We shan't be long now.
He liked running at night. The rails hummed, and all signal lights shone green. But a broken cart full of lime lay ahead. Sam the farmer had just gone for help. Percy broke the cart to smithereens. Lime flew everywhere. He puffed quickly to the nearest signal box. Percy's driver explained what had happened. I'll see to it, said the signalman, but you better clean Percy, or people will think he's a ghost. Percy chuckled.
Do let's pretend I'm a ghost and scare Thomas. That'll teach him to say I'm a silly little engine.
Toby promised to help. Thomas was being oiled up for his evening train. Percy's had an accident, cried Toby. Ah, poor engine, said Thomas. Ah, botheration. That means I'll be late. They cleared the line for you, but there's something worse. Well, out with it, Toby. I can't wait all evening. I've just seen something, said Toby. It looked like Percy's ghost, and it said it was coming here to warn us. Who cares? Don't be frightened, Toby. I'll take care of you. But Thomas was about to be proven wrong.
Peep, peep, beep, 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 peep. Let me in, wailed Percy. No, no, not by the smoke of my chimney, chim. I'll chuff, and I'll puff, and I'll break your door in!
Oh dear, exclaimed Thomas. It's getting late. I have no idea. I must find Annie and Clarabelle. It was morning when Thomas returned. Where have you been? Asked Toby. Well, said Thomas, I knew you'd be sad about Percy, and, I, didn't like to intrude. I slept in the freight shed, and... Oh, sorry, can't stop. I gotta see a coach about a train. And he shot off like a jackrabbit. Percy was none the worse for his adventures, and he was still enjoying himself enormously. He had heard everything.
Well, just what do you know about that?
Anyone would think, chuckled Toby, that our Thomas had just seen a ghost. In summer, the work crew cut the long grass that's growing alongside the track, and they rake it into heaps to dry in the sun. At this time of year, Percy stops where they've been cutting. They then load up his empty wagons, and then he pulls them to the station. Toby then takes the hay to the farms in the hills, so the farmers can feed their stock.
Wheesh!
Percy gave a ghostly whistle.
Don't be frightened, Thomas.
He laughed.
It's only me.
Your ugly phiz is enough to frighten anyone, said Thomas. You're like
Ugly indeed. I'm...
a green caterpillar with red stripes, continued Thomas firmly. You crawl like one too.
I don't.
Well, who's been late every afternoon this week?
It's the hay.
Well, I can't help that, said Thomas. Time's time, and Sir Topham Hatt is relying on me to keep it. But I can if you crawl about in the hay till all hours.
Green caterpillar indeed,
fumed Percy, as he set off to the harbor with his freight cars.
Everyone says I'm handsome. Well, at least almost everyone. And anyway, my curves are better than Thomas's corners. Thomas always says I'm late,
he puffed.
I'm never late. Well, at least only by a few minutes. But what's that to Thomas? He always can make up time further on.
But all the same, he and his driver decided to start back early. But today, there was trouble. A crate of treacle was upset all over Percy. Percy was very disappointed. He was still sticky when he puffed away. The wind was blowing fiercely. Look at that! Exclaimed Percy's driver. The wind caught the piled hay, tossing it up and over the tracks. The line climbed here. Take a run at it, Percy, his driver advised. Percy gathered speed, but the hay made the rail slippery, and his wheels couldn't move. Time after time he stalled with spinning wheels and had to wait for the wind to die down and the line to be clear until he could start again. Everyone was very cross, and Thomas seethed impatiently. 10 minutes late. I warned him. The passengers will complain, and Sir Topham Hatt... Then everyone saw Percy, and they laughed and laughed.
Sorry I'm late,
panted Percy. Well, look who's crawled out of the hay, teased Thomas.
What's wrong?
Asked Percy. Talk about woolly green caterpillars, said Thomas. It's worth being late having seen you. When Percy got home, his driver showed him what he looked like in a mirror.
Bust my buffers, he laughed. No wonder they were all chuckling. I look just like a woolly bear. Please clean me before Toby comes.
But it was no good. Thomas told Toby all about it. Instead of talking about sensible things like playing ghosts, Thomas and Toby teased Percy about woolly green caterpillars and other creatures that crawl about in hay. They laughed a lot, but Percy thought they were being very silly indeed.